is this a case of discrimination against gays and lesbians? And my answer to that is yes and no. I believe that I'm kind of up in the air as to whether the actual prosecutor and the police in this particular case are just acting within the realms of the law, which they are. But are they doing it maliciously? Is the system itself acting maliciously against them? I'm not sure about that. I'm kind of up in the air about that. I'm going to wait and see how this plays out. But are the parents of the girl that pressed charges in the first place, are they simply concerned about the age difference, or was this about the lesbian relationship to them? I do not believe for 1 minute that it was about the age difference. I believe that it was purely malicious, bigoted in nature against the relationship, the lesbian relationship that the two were having, and that is the belief of the girl's mother as well. And like you were saying, Brian, the parents have been absolutely malicious against this girl. They have not only pressed charges against her, but like I said, when she offered to leave the state, they refused to take that offer, in order to give her a misdemeanor. They want to see this girl get charged with a felony. They want to see this girl's prospects for her future be eliminated. If she gets charged with a felony, she won't get any federal aid for school. She'll be eliminated from most job opportunities. It's just, doors are going to close all around her, and her whole life is just going to be scarred because of this nonsense. They're definitely being deeply malicious. So, Jeff, do you think that do you think this is a case of gay discrimination? Do you think the parents are being malicious, and do you think that the system is also discriminating against them?
I'm kind of I'm a little bit up in the air on this one because I don't know exactly. But what it seems to me is that yes, there does seem to be some gay discrimination. I'm not going to doubt that. And I can also see it going kind of doing kind of both. Discrimination based on the fact that it's a lesbian relationship, and discrimination in the fact that, hey, you're much older, and that you're preying on my daughter, which is much younger than you, and corrupting her with your. It's like kind of it's really both that what I see. You know what I mean? They do see her as a predator, a female lesbian predator out to corrupt their daughter, and that's what I see from the parents' point of view, is the fact that they see it just like that. And it would be no different, I think, if there had been because you got to think, if it was a guy, an 18-year-old boy that they didn't like, also dating their 14-year-old daughter, I have no doubt that parents would also jump on that in a hot second if they didn't like the guy. You know what I mean? And similarly, parents, if they do like the guy, they let it slide. So, it's a bit of a difficult situation, because for all of those factors involved.
Daniel, do you think that this is a case of LGBT discrimination?
In a way, yes, and it very much is to a great extent. But if you think about it as well from another perspective, is that okay? The parents, even if you're an 18-year-old male dating a 14-year-old daughter, 14-year-old girl, that yes, the parents might let it slide until you piss them off, and then they'll have you being pulled away in shackles. The moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is don't put yourself in a situation that you don't want to fucking be in.
Well, the thing about these laws is, I'm going to get to Brian here in just a minute, but I just want to include the thing about these laws is that it's very much similar to the unjust, zero tolerance policy laws, which destroy people's lives, even within the school system. Zero tolerance policies really, they're unjustified. It takes away people's ability to critically look at each individual case. The thing with this case is that, yes, when they first started dating, the girl was 14. Caitlin was 17. Okay, that was perfectly legal. But as soon as Caitlin turned 18, it became illegal. Well, shortly after that, the other girl turned 15. That's still illegal, but wait a second. If you wait just one more year after that girl turned 16, then it's legal again. It really is, because in the state of Florida, people who are 16 and over can have a relationship with someone who is between the ages of 16 and 24. So the parents took this window of opportunity to destroy this girl's life. And because the laws are flawed, they were able to do that. Now, Brian, what's your take? Is this a case of LGBT discrimination? And who is discriminating in this case?
Is it a case of discrimination? I don't quite want to use the word discrimination here. I don't know enough about the parents of the girl in question to make that kind of determination. One thing I can say is it does seem very bigoted. It does seem very closed-minded because of the lesbian issue. But is it just that, or is it because their little daughter and they're going to go after anybody who touches their little daughter? Like Jeff was saying, and I can't disagree with that, would they have done the same if it was some boy they didn't like? And I think there's maybe an argument to be made that quite possibly they would have, just because it's their little daughter and they're going to harm anybody who they think is doing harm to them. So discriminatory, LGBT discriminatory, I don't know. That's a tough one to say from the personal standpoint. From the legal standpoint, I'm going to have to say no, because what she's been charged with is lewd and lascivious behavior, which can go either way. That's not got anything to do with your sexual orientation. That's got to do with the actions that were taking place, and they would apply the same to gay people as well as straight people. So is it discriminatory under the law? I'd have to lean to say no. The law is really only doing what is currently written there. As somebody has made a complaint, and they are now acting on that complaint. What we'll really need to see at this point is how far that complaint goes. How vigorously is the district attorney going to pursue this? Are they going to take issue with the consensus of the people and maybe revisit the laws that she's being charged with and take another look at that? So discriminatory on a personal level, I don't know. Bigoted on a personal level, I think there is very good reason to think that. Discriminatory on a legal standpoint, I have to go with no.
Right, yeah, well, I agree with you on the legal standpoint. I feel like that the prosecutor, for instance, is just taking the opportunity to be a prosecutor, probably. I don't know what the prosecutor's personal views are, but I know that they're pretty cutthroat no matter what the case is. And I believe that it's just they're working within the constraints of the law, which is very flawed, and that the most bigoted and most discriminatory people in this case are the parents of the younger girl. I definitely believe that they are bigoted because of the lesbian relationship between these two girls. It's reported that they're especially religious people, fanatically religious people, and that they believe that being gay is a sin, and also Caitlin's mother said that the girl's parents believe that Caitlin is responsible for making their daughter gay.